Forgiveness is one of the trickiest things a person can learn. What makes it more difficult is that the act of forgiving someone comes in external and internal stages, so it's easy to think you're giving someone a second chance without really doing it. No Second Prances gave us a glimpse into what happens when we confuse external forgiveness for internal forgiveness, how to spot the differences between the two, as well as what happens when our desire and intentions for forgiveness aren't pure. I use the terms external and internal to describe the different types of forgiveness by where they come from. As an example, take a moment to picture someone who has caused you a lot of pain. Now imagine how you might feel about that person the next time you see them because of what they've done. If you imagined yourself taking an action to return that pain, then you have not forgiven that person. If you would be civil in their presence only for the purpose of saving face or maintaining peace, but wouldn't want to see that person again, you have forgiven them externally, because ultimately, the hatred you feel is still there and you are only pretending to have forgiven them for ulterior motives. However, if you imagine someone who has acted against you and their actions were not seen as a negative factor for how you view them as a friend or family member, then you have internally forgiven them. This type of forgiveness happens when we are fully at peace with someone's transgressions, and remembrance is either a testament to the relationship's strength or a statement of historical fact. This is forgiveness in its true form. Twilight demonstrated external forgiveness with Trixie. Although she didn't see a need to punish Trixie in Magic Duel from her apology, going forward, Trixie hadn't actively opened herself up to becoming a better person the way that others in the past have done. The apparent lack of effort, in addition to having no precedence for unselfish behavior, didn't give Twilight a reason to trust that Trixie had actually changed. The problem that external forgiveness almost inevitably leads to was demonstrated in the episode. As external forgiveness is a facade, all facades eventually crack under the pressure of their own maintenance, causing you to act out in unexpected ways. In this case, the facade of forgiving Trixie led to Twilight trying to take control of a situation she would have otherwise known she doesn't and shouldn't have control over. In not trusting Trixie, Starlight was forced to question whether or not Twilight trusted her own judgment, or, if Twilight couldn't trust Trixie, who was very similar to Starlight, then how could Starlight know that Twilight trusted her? In all fairness though, Twilight wasn't entirely wrong, as Trixie was, in fact, exhibiting a very similar mentality, but for different reasons, hers being rooted in jealousy and pride, causing a selfish desire to defeat Twilight. But the result was all the same. Although her friendship with Starlight was genuine, it still carried an impure motivation of getting revenge on Twilight. Then, when that facade cracked, Starlight was again forced to question if any of it was real. Use these examples to spot real and fake friendships in your life. Remember that actions speak louder than words. Truly repentant people will go out of their way to mend the damage that they've caused and learn from the experience. Those who seek forgiveness insincerely will do nothing or continue their selfish, destructive actions anyway. Although Trixie did seek to better herself, it was for the purpose of bettering her own image and repairing her ego. Being in this limbo is what allowed her friendship towards Starlight to be genuine, but nonetheless perpetuated her competitiveness with Twilight, thus leading to the misunderstandings which we saw. Never be insincere with your forgiveness or intentions. In the cases of both Twilight and Trixie, Starlight was the one who suffered the consequences. Not knowing if your friends really trust you, or believing that they were only using you, is devastating. Oftentimes, the loss of trust irreparably damages the friendship. In the worst case scenario, it makes the victim hesitant to trust their other current and future friendships. Additionally, as we saw in Starlight, it makes them wonder if they themselves are worth friendship to begin with. I can attest to this personally, and I'm certain that some of those listening can as well. As for yourself, your insincere motivations will eventually be expressed through your attitudes and actions, causing people to lose trust in you. Or, if you do not make the choice to let go of others' past transgressions, then you will not be able to see it even when the other's repentant actions are heartfelt, and you will carry the weight of that hatred forever. People need to be given a chance to redeem themselves in our eyes. It is the only way that they can learn the value of themselves and their actions, which will usually inspire them to do better even without a guilty motivation. That pure form of forgiveness and friendship like many other things, is a choice that rests solely within you. Unfortunately, some people will need to learn this lesson more than once, and there will be those who take advantage of your forgiveness or never learn. However, I cannot give specific advice on how much to forgive someone in a video, as situations will vary from person to person, and this is something that I often wrestle with myself. When Twilight and Trixie realized these things, they were able to adjust their attitudes internally and show externally how much they really cared. If we can make the choice to forgive the transgressions of those who have hurt us and give them a chance to show true repentance through their actions, then maybe we can do the same. And that's the moral of the story. If you have anything you would like to hear discussed or reviewed, you can drop your suggestions by following BrawnyBuck on Tumblr or sending an email to bronydebates@gmail.com. Feel free to check out my Patreon to see how you can support my channel and what you'll get in return. This video was sponsored by Irish John's Short Films and Animations, as well as all of my other generous supporters. Have a great day, and I look forward to hearing from all of you soon.